Hey there, music maker. Welcome back to Mandolin Secrets. In today's video, we're going to be looking at the chords to the classic fiddle tune Cherokee Shuffle. This is one that my buddy Magnus has done some lessons on before for the mandolin, and I've got one out for the melody on guitar. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out for your flat pick and guitar stuff, go ahead and bookmark that one on this YouTube channel for next time. In today's video, though, it's all about the harmony. We're going to be looking at how to play the chords to Cherokee Shuffle with a basic bluegrass bass strum pattern, with the exception of one cool little bass run down to the E minor chord. Before we go ahead and dive into the lesson, though, if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button below and clicking the bell notification button, that's a great way to keep up with all the new content that we're releasing every week here on Mandolin Secrets. Also, if you're interested in a more enhanced learning experience with PDFs of tab and sheet music for all of these tunes, as well as backing tracks, play-along tracks, and other educational tools, check out the link below to the Mandolin Secrets Guitar Club. There you'll find all of the stuff I talked about and more, plus access to our community where you can ask questions to me, Magnus Zetterlund, as well as the rest of the Mandolin Secrets Guitar Club community. All right, my friend, let's go ahead and talk about the chords that we're going to use for Cherokee Shuffle, and then we'll dive into a demonstration of how to use that bass strum pattern, okay? So the chords we've got here today are a G chord, and before I go any further, this is played in the key of A, so you'll want to capo up to the 2nd fret here. I forgot to mention that. So capo on the 2nd fret, and then we've got a 4-finger G chord. Middle finger, 3rd fret of the low E, index on the 2nd fret of the A, open, open for the D and G, ring finger on the 3rd fret of the B, and pinky on the 3rd fret of the high E. And your bass strum pattern for that is low E strum, D string strum, lather, rinse, repeat. The next chord that we see here is that E minor chord. This one's real simple. It's just a middle finger on the 2nd fret of the A and ring finger on the 2nd fret of the D. Bass strum is low E strum, A string strum. Next chord after that is a C chord, which is just like this. Ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the D, and index finger on the 1st fret of the B, and we strum the A string, top 4 strings, move that ring finger down to the 3rd fret of the low E, and then strum the top 4 again. And the last chord that we have to learn is a D chord. So index finger on the 2nd fret of the G, ring finger on the 3rd fret of B, and then middle on the 2nd fret of the high E. From the 4th string down we strum that one, so 4th string, strum, and then our alternating bass note is the 5th string. Open, strum. All right, my friend, I think that's enough knowledge to go ahead and dive into learning the chord changes on this one. But if you'll remember, there was that bass run I talked about earlier, so let's go back and review that. So we actually have 3 measures of that G chord up first, which means a total of 12 beats, right? It's bass strum is 1 measure, so 3 measures. On that 3rd measure, we're only going to do 1 bass strum of G, and the last 2 beats of that measure, instead of being another bass drum, we're going to play 3rd fret of the E, 2nd fret of the E, and then that leads really well into our E minor chord. If you've been around the channel for a while, you'll know that I talk about using scale tones to walk between chords, and that's all we're doing here. We're just walking down the G major scale, A major, but we're capoed, right? Walking down the G major scale, straight into that E minor chord, and it works out perfectly to give you a nice bass run and lead the listener's ear into that next chord change. Okay, my friend, that means you have enough info to go ahead and dive into learning the chords to this one. We're going to cue up a version of this tune at 100 beats per minute, and then we'll dive into one that's a little faster at 160. That's more of like an intermediate, like medium tempo jam. Okay, my friend, let's dive into that version of Cherokee Shuffle at 100 beats per minute. Let's go. A 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, my friend, that was it for the slow rendition of the chord changes to this tune. Let's bump that metronome up to 160 beats per minute and try this one out at what you're likely to encounter at a local bluegrass jam, sometimes even faster. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, my friend, that is it for the Chords to Cherokee Shuffle. This is a super standard that you will probably encounter at most bluegrass jam sessions around the country and world, probably. So it's a good one to know the chords to, and I hope that you get a lot of mileage out of this one. Also, if you like using those bass runs in your chords, drop us a comment below and let us know how you like to toss them into tunes. I'm always interested to see how people use these techniques in their own rhythm playing. All right, my friend, that is it for this lesson. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll catch you in the next video.